lack of physical contact. I needed a goddamn hug. I needed somebody to hold me. Now, there were plenty of men that offered to do that, but I didn't want wood sticking in my back. So I did reach out to some of my girlfriends and ask them, and none of them really felt comfortable with it. Besides that, I needed it like every day. So I made this pillow nest in my bed so that every night when I got into bed, I felt like I was being held.
Stop it. Get some help.
And that was kind of good, but it's just not the same. Then I decided to let my dog sleep with me and cuddle with me, but he's not really a cuddler. I also have 4 teenagers, but they're in that time in their life when they don't want to be touched by their mama. I ended up just hugging random strangers everywhere I went. The greeters at Walmart, random people I met at grocery stores, friends I had at the gym. I know you can hire cuddlers. I can't afford that shit. But I really just probably needed to make a doll. Like a big, weighted, giant man doll.
You serious?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. Give me the sit rep and let's get started with today's video, guys, because the situation is dire. Women are losing it. They're not in their sane mind. They need some male touch. So let's get started with this woman that resembles perfectly this silly emoji right here. But now, guys, let's get started.
I'm tired of waiting for a partner. I'm lonely. Not needy, but lonely. Girl, we all feel you on that. So in 2023, I had an entire year of celibacy, not even kissing a man. It was my choice. I was doing my 90-day no kissing rule, and I was vetting men before I got physical with them. And although I absolutely learned so much and did the right thing and ended up finding a wonderful man, the thing that bothered me the most during that year was the lack of physical contact. I needed a goddamn hug. I needed somebody to hold me. Now, there were plenty of men that offered to do that, but I didn't want wood sticking in my back. So I did reach out to some of my girlfriends and ask them, and none of them really felt comfortable with it. Besides that, I needed it like every day.
Well, no shit. Can you imagine? You're a woman, you are 34, you are married, you have 2 children, you have responsibilities with your family, and suddenly this one lonely woman in her 40s calls you and says, hey, I've been feeling really lonely. Do you mind coming to my place and cuddling in bed? It's so cringe, so desperate. Lady, chill.
Day. So I made this pillow nest in my bed so that every night when I got into bed, I felt like I was being held. And that was kind of good, but...
Guys, this is not okay. This is not alright. I bet that her plastic toys have been seeing a lot of action recently.
It's just not the same. Then I decided to let my dog sleep with me and cuddle with me, but he's not really a cuddler. I also have 4 teenagers, but they're in that time in their life when they don't want to be touched by their mama. So I was at a loss.
Can you imagine being a guy in your 20s? Again, your mother comes to you and says, hey son, do you mind cuddling with me this night? I'm just feeling really lonely. And you're like, Mom, please get off my back. Better things to do than cuddle with my 40-year age mother. Please, Mom, don't make it awkward. This is starting to resemble the script of a certain page that rhymes with corn and hub.
It's important to get hugs. It's important to be held. It's important to be touched. I ended up just hugging random strangers everywhere I went. The greeters at Walmart, random people I met at grocery stores, friends I had at the gym. But only the creepy guys wanted to hug more than 20 seconds. So...
Oh, the creepy guys. They are creepy, not you who are going around at Walmart hugging strangers. They are creepy. Well, alright.
So I struggled. Now, I helped my loneliness by creating a community of women who got together every other Tuesday night and for events around town. I would go out with my girlfriends as often as I could, but nothing replaced wanting and needing physical contact. That was the loneliest part for me. So I would like to normalize platonic female friendship, sleepover, cuddle nights. Why can't that be a thing? Why does that have to be weird? I know you can hire cuddlers. I can't afford that shit. But I really just probably needed to make a doll. Like a big, weighted, giant man doll. or non-binary, I don't care. Something weighted that could just hold me.
You could make that. You could make a giant non-binary doll to cuddle you at night. Or here's something that you might find odd, rare, weird, but you could also just not be a dating failure and secure a man and not divorce your ex-husband, right? And you could have a man there to hold you and cuddle you and break your back and all those needs you have. It's either that, right, being a normal person who has a family, or creating a giant non-binary doll to hug you, animate, right? Pick your choice, ladies. Choose one for yourself.
Although I don't even know if that would work. There's something healing about another person holding you and making you feel safe in this energy exchange. So that's what I miss most when I was single. So for my other single friends, what is it that you miss most?
I think that this woman misses most sanity, you know, not being clinically insane is the thing she misses the most. But these women, guys, are creating like commutes with other women, you know, where they go and hug each other and tell each other it's gonna be fine. It's all right that we are 50 and single, and posting it on TikTok. It's all right. They're doing that on one hand. On the other hand, they're going to forests to break sticks and throw rocks and yell. All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. It's extremely hilarious. They are not all right, guys. Women are not doing fine. It's not good on their end, right? But let's check this other woman, guys, that is also 50 and dating. And let's see how she's doing. She's titled herself, "I'm a Disaster."
Hello, it's been 3 months and I'm going on a coffee date. Don't even have makeup on. I'm not, who puts makeup on at this time of the day for coffee? It's not happening. This is what I look like. This is what I'm wearing. I've been wearing it all day, so look, we'll see how it goes.
I don't know. This woman, guys, again, dating in her 50s, really cringe. You would want your grandma to be knitting some socks for your future son, but instead they are out dating, you know, and wanting to get with Chad. And she says, "This is how I look," right? When they take off the makeup, guys, they have to say, like, "This is how I look." Tell you what, these women, guys, not even their sons will recognize them if they don't wear 3 pounds of makeup. And there's a comment on this post that says, "He invited you over a coffee date. This is what he gets," right? Like, he doesn't deserve the effort of you putting on makeup if he only invited you to a coffee date instead of to a 5-star Michelin restaurant to have the red lobster and the French champagne, right? So first off, implying that this woman is ugly because she doesn't wear makeup, right? Comparing her to a coffee date that in her eyes seems like a low tier option. So nice way of telling the content creator that she's ugly. But also, what's the problem with a coffee date exactly? Right? Aren't you there to meet the other person and talk things out? You're not there to... This is not a business meeting where you go to a fancy sushi restaurant. This is... You're getting to know the other person. You can get to know him at a bench at the park, all right? But of course, these women, guys, they only care about the money, okay? Love for them equals money. The more money you pour into them, the more you love them. Really bad options. We'll leave this woman to date in her 50s. And now, guys, let's move on to a single mother of 9. Holy crap. I've seen rabbits that have less offspring than this woman.
Yesterday, I told you guys that I went to my RV. I swung open the door and there was a dead mouse cut in half right in the center of it. And you see all of these beautiful like lifestyles on TikTok of living in your RV and all of these things, but nobody ever talks about the dead mouse right in the center of it and how when you're a single person and there is nobody to cheer you on, even a bestie to go in there and like grab that mouse, it is not cool. It's not cool at all. And then I went to the gym and, okay, so I slammed the door shut on the mouse and thought, I cannot deal with this right now. I can't. This is not how my life is going to go for the next 30 minutes.
A lot of the times I mention, you know, when these women ask, what do men put on the table? I always mention how if a rat gets into the home, a mouse, a bird, whatever, they're the ones that take it out. And guys, this is not like a silly analogy. No, women most of them, they really cannot deal with a mouse, dead or alive. They can't. They freak out. All right. And also, she mentioned going to the gym. What do you bet that instead of going to the gym and doing a normal workout, she does these crazy, silly sessions, you know? Like, take a look at this. There's this meme being floating around.
Un video más, mi gente, para pegar.
Este comentario me acuerda a una mujer que yo tenía.
Right, it's absolutely hilarious, guys. Like, oh, now we're gonna do 4 sets of horsing around. It's just hilarious. But now let's continue.
So then ran over to the gym, ran into somebody that I used to date, and it was so awkward, so awkward. I could not have been more awkward with, oh, hi, yeah, you know, like that, just an awkward, I don't even know what to say to you moment. And then I went home and my cat or my dog threw up all over everything. The cat is just a visitor. I don't know when it's going to leave. But the dog all over my bed. I'm like, I have had enough. I have had enough. And to end, I have a parenting question. What do we do when our adult kids have screwed up but live at home? You cannot ground an adult. What do we do?
Well, what a chaos of a life, guys. Just a chaos. Everything is upside down. And, oh, I just realized you've been watching this woman's teeth the whole time. You weren't able to see her face. Sorry for that, guys. Editor, I'm gonna kick you out, man. What are you doing? The point here is, guys, the rat story is silly and funny. The cat or dog vomiting all around is also extremely funny. But what is not funny is the children, alright? She says, I have kids, I can't control them, I cannot put them in their place, they are chaotic, they are misbehaving. This is why you need a man, right? Not only to make you company and cuddle you and take care of your female needs, you also need a man not only for the rats and the dogs and all that, the animal kingdom, you also need him for the kids, to put some boundaries in place, to teach these kids, to lead by example, to be a masculine figure, you know, who determines the boundaries in their personalities and, you know, works with their traits and all that. This epidemic, guys, of single mothers we are seeing is going to have a massive impact on future generations, on society, and on the world. All right, and we are starting to see the effects on that. It will get absolutely terrible in the future, so I really don't find it funny. All these single mothers, guys, I really don't find it funny because they are trashing the lives of their offspring. They're doing a disservice to the whole world with their delusions, with their Disney La La Land way of seeing the world, with what you know, thinking that the grass is always greener somewhere else. They really are trashing our societies. So think about that, gentlemen, and leave me your thoughts down below. But now let's move on to another woman that is having issues dating. Let's take a look at her story.
If you are single and in your 30s, I feel like you're gonna relate to this. Or honestly, if you're just a single woman who is going through it in the single journey. I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were both talking about how we're both single. I'm 30, she's 32. And we were like, what the fuck? Some people, they meet their significant others in high school. They meet in college. And we are out here doing all the work that it takes to just meet a man that we remotely feel attracted to. We are like...
the man who they remotely are attracted to is above 6 feet tall, pulling the 6 digits and being jacked out of his mind. All right, this is the man that I somehow, somewhat just want to feel remotely attracted to. This is what it means.
I've literally done plant medicine. I do breath work. I meditate. I manifest. I'm doing all the things. And meanwhile, Steve and Susie over here met when they were 24. They're just living their lives.
Jealous much? Jealous much? And you know, guys, she manifests and meditates, right? What else do you want, guys? What else do you want? Stop being so picky. You should not care that she's 30 and single, extremely bad at dating, cannot keep a man, no pair bonding ability left after all the chats that have been between her legs. She can manifest. She can meditate. What else do you want? You're so good at manifesting. Manifest a husband and shut up, please.
And it's like, what else must I do? But someone gave me
I don't know, have you tried manifesting harder?
some really good advice the other day, and they were like, listen, we're here on this earth, we have soul contracts. Some people are here to heal the relationships that they have with their bodies, some people the relationship that they have with their hearts. Hello, me. But the more you focus in on what you don't have, what you're lacking, the more you are suffocating the energy around said thing, and energy can't move and energy can't flow. So if you are going through it in the single journey and the dating journey, please release the outcomes of what you want, like what you are dying to achieve, having a significant other, finding your person, and just enjoy your life and allow the energy to flow. And that mindset shift has been helping me.
Well, apparently not helping you enough if you are still single and crying about it on TikTok. For all her manifesting powers, guys, this is a level 10 manifesting witch. For all her powers, she cannot manifest a boyfriend, and she cannot manifest pair bonding ability, and she also cannot manifest having a personality. So wish you luck on that. Also, something that's really funny to me is how these women talk about energy, you know, the energy flow and all that. Guys, I feel like I'm in Avatar, the last airbender, right? And we just flow energy over here, manifesting fire and earth and water and wind, right? I feel like I'm in Naruto, and they're teaching me how to flow my chakra, you know, how to possess and then manifest and materialize my chakra. Like, holy crap, what world are you living in, madam? What world are you living in? But now, guys, let's move on to one last TikTok. As you find this woman extremely happy, this face, alright, is just the definition of being joyful in life. So for all the ladies who have boyfriends and all that, this is what you're missing on. Instead of having your pathetic little husband or boyfriend, you could be equally as happy as this woman, right? Just look at her face, guys. This is what being single in your 30s does to you. Extremely joyful. So let's take a listen.
Dating in your 30s is like going through a box of assorted chocolates. You don't really know what you're gonna get, but when you take a bite, you just, that was a mistake. I don't like that. Or finding a quality man on a dating app in your 30s is like trying to find a needle with a haystack, except that needle is holding a red flag, but you think that you would be able to see it, but you're colorblind, so you're just like, oh, it's a flag, look at me, a needle. Or it's like, you know, being at a flea market and you have to just sift through a lot of junk to find a hidden gem, but then turns out that hidden gem is just kind of like a cheap knockoff, and eventually you just waste all your money. Or it's like playing an old video game, because you know all the moves, it's just the levels seem to be getting way harder than you remember, and it's fixed. You can't win.
You can't win, and it keeps getting harder. She says, well, of course, you're in your 30s. When you're 40, it's going to be harder. When you're 70, it's going to be even harder. Crazy to think of, right? That you should not postpone dating up until your 30s. Incredible, guys. But also, you have to have some really big balls to be saying how, you know, the gems that you find are really knockoffs and they're not that bright. And I'm looking for a quality man. It takes some balls to have these standards when you're literally a 0 out of 10 in terms of dating. You're not attractive. You have a nose piercing. You look like a nerd. You are whiny and annoying. You have an annoying voice. You probably have a terrible dating history, right? You come off as extremely annoying. You're a pain in the neck, yet you complain about there not being enough quality men, because of course, guys, she expects the 6 feet tall, rich and attractive guy, even though she is below average in every department. So we're gonna leave her here. It's interesting how they always say it's impossible, it's impossible. Just like this, not this one right here that says, oh, it's impossible, yet Stevie and Susan over here have been together since they were 24. Isn't that interesting, gentlemen? Isn't that interesting how it's impossible, right? It's impossible for women to find a nice man, yet we have all these women over here that got into a marriage when they were in their 20s. They have kids, they have a husband, they have good families, they go on picnics together and vacations and whatever not. How does that happen? How is it possible that some women manage to do it while for others it's impossible, you know? A very, very interesting take. But now, guys, let's move on to our Reddit article. It's kind of short because the video is long enough already, but this is an interesting one. So, Anxious Painter asks, did I sleep with him too soon? I, 29 female, been on 3 or 4 dates with a 32-year-old male. Cool guy. We slept together on our last date. So, the 3rd or 4th date they slept together. He made me feel so special and safe. He asked me to let him know I got home and said he had a wonderful time. I suggested we do it again and got no response. Oh, sucks to suck, eh? Now it's been a week since I heard from him. Did I ruin things by sleeping with him? Yes. Am I panicking unnecessarily? No, you're gonna be single forever. You can panic all you want. And look, there's this comment here by a woman, sorry. He says, see it this way. He ruined everything with you for ghosting and leading you on. Oh, wow, so terrible. I presume this man will be crying in his apartment. That's a nice take if we presume that he even cares a shit about you, alright? If you want to sleep better at night, instead of crying yourself to sleep, you can believe that he ruined everything and he is at a loss. But reality is, alright, reality is, this guy doesn't give a shit about you. He has forgotten your name already and you were just a side dish for him, alright? You were just a nice dessert that he got for free. We have so many women, guys. This one is 29 and she goes on a date. She becomes the equivalent of an S3X doll and she gets dismissed. She got used like an S3X toy, and this is what she settles for. This is what she markets herself for, because we keep repeating, we keep yapping, we keep hammering on this point that women should not be sleeping around with all the men without securing the commitment. We keep saying this in order to protect them and also in order to date a woman that actually has some value, because no man that respects himself wants to be with the equivalent of the town bicycle, all right? We keep repeating this, yet here they are again, guys, sleeping around, not thinking about the future, not thinking about anything, not thinking about compatibility, not thinking about whether this guy has some intentions with them. They just spread their legs, get pumped, and then 3 or 4 days later, they go cry on Reddit on TikTok. Oh, he left me. Why are men so bad? And they keep crying, right? You deserve it. You market yourself as an S3X toy, and this is all you'll ever be. It's over for you. You hit the wall. It's over. You're not going to find a man. You have no pair bonding ability left. Enjoy your 7 cats and your boxed wine, right? Because, I don't know, guys, it doesn't seem that hard. Okay, it doesn't seem that hard to secure the commitment up front and to not be the equivalent of a 304. I don't know. I just don't find it that hard to be able to close your legs for a change, all right? But apparently it is. Apparently it's impossible for these women to not be 304s that don't even get paid, all right? They want to be on the streets. Well, they have it. You'll stay on the streets forever. But gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to see you next time. Have a good one.